A massive decision for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be talking about their recent roster move and picking up Dalen Terry's fourth-year option. We're going to be talking about what this means for Dalen Terry and what this means for the Chicago Bulls. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. All right, and so we're jumping into a recent report that actually came out Thursday from Darnell Mayberry, and it is that the Chicago Bulls have went ahead and they have picked up the fourth-year option on Dalen Terry, which means that we get him here for another season. And I think that this is huge for the Chicago Bulls, and I think that this is big because they needed to do this, especially since the Chicago Bulls are looking to go ahead and they're stepping into this youth movement. You have to take a look at Dalen Terry and you have to see what you have. I'm not saying that he's going to be a starting guard, but I think that he could be perhaps a rotational player, and I think he's going to be more of a guard forward. And so I love this with the Chicago Bulls. I think that this is the right move, especially when you look at what AK and Billy Donovan had to say in their radio interview. They talked about wanting to play faster, and I think that Dalen Terry absolutely fits that. I think when you look back in Arizona, that's really how he thrived, playing a lot of fast, up-tempo basketball, and I think that that helps him as far as being an efficient scorer. And defensively, I think that that is something that he naturally has, and I think that he has gotten better at. It's just a matter of getting him a lot more comfortable in the offense, and I think that you now have an offensive system that is going to fit Dalen Terry, and in order to see if he's going to be a long-term fit for you, you had to pick up this option. You have to see what he can do. And so one of the things that I do love about this as well is that Billy Donovan said that young players are going to have to earn minutes. And I think that Dalen Terry, if you've been looking at his offseason, I think that he has been working his tail off. And I absolutely think that he is for sure earning minutes. And I think he's going to come into training camp and I think he's going to show everybody that he's ready. He's been working with DeMar DeRozan. He's actually played in the Drew League and he's looked pretty good. And I know it is a pro-am, but he has looked very good there. He's been working out in LA. He was working out with Kevin Durant. He's been working out with James Harden, Chet Holmgren. He's looked good in the drills and things like that. He's looking like he's improved his jump shot. And one of these clips I'm going to show, it was fascinating. And I think that when you get a chance to see clips like this, I'd have to say that if the Chicago Bulls have been looking, they have been very excited at what they are seeing over the summer. In fact, we're getting ready to take a look at what he did in a pro-am. And he scored 56 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. I know it's a pro-am, but still, you have to be excited to see this young man in a Chicago Bulls jersey when you see it, guys, because look at this. I mean, here he is coming down. He's throwing a nice little lob, the improved handle decision-making. Look at the finish in contact. You absolutely love that as well. And I like this too. The handle into the step back jump shot. You would love to see this, especially if the shot clock starts to go down and he has to take advantage of it. Then finishing in transition, I just talked about the fact that I think he's going to be able to do that. And Dalen Terry is a player that we have to look at is a stat stuffer. That's exactly what he's going to be, a stat stuffer. He's going to be more of a point forward. And I think it's just getting him a chance to get into that role. But again, when you look at these clips, you see what he's been doing as far as the improvements to his game. I think that it was a no-brainer that the Chicago Bulls had to make this decision and go ahead and pick up this option to see what they have in their young player. Now, as we look at it for him and as far as just the outlook and, what was talked about when he first came in the league, it is just that he had to be a little bit more of a consistent shooter. And so I'll start there. He only shot 23%, but I think that there is going to be a lot of improvement this year, especially with opportunity and the work that he has put in this offseason. I think it really is going to translate. And so I'm going ahead and saying that I am betting on Dalen Terry taking the next step here because I think if he's already a good slasher, he's already a great player that knows how to move without the basketball. You can imagine that if Josh Giddey, if Lonzo Ball, Lavine, Kobe White are attacking and they draw two defenders, if he adds that three ball to a 30, 40 percentile, you can imagine that he's going to be a little bit more tougher to guard because now he has the ability to knock down the shot. If you close out too hard, he's going to run right by you and give you a rim run as well. And so I love that. And then even if he doesn't score the basketball, you saw in the clip that he's an improved passer. So that's where you get that point forward from. And so I think that the upside is absolutely there when you see it. And so next, defensively, I think that he's gotten better each year. I think he's learned how to play with his length at 6'6", 6'7", with a 7-foot wingspan. I think that he's done well there. I think he's doing a great job in learning how to get over screens and move his feet, be attached, learn how to chase as well, and contest shots without fouling. I think that he's gotten better there, and I think that we're going to need him, all right, because right now we don't have Alex Caruso. We don't know what's going to go on with Patrick Williams with this setback with his foot. So Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, these are going to be some defenders that we're going to rely on, and we need to see exactly what they can and cannot do. So once again, this is why I love this signing, as you want to call it, as they pick up this fourth-year option on him. But, you know, just looking at what he's done thus far in the 2 question marks for him, I think that he's trending in the right direction when we look at this. And so, you know, lastly, when you look at what he's done in the Windy City, or with the Windy City Bulls, much like Adama Sanogo, once like Adama Sanogo, and then also to Kenny Lofton Jr., these players have played very well in the G League, and I think that you're seeing that with Dalen Terry as well. You see the 16 points a game, the 3.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists. You see that he's had a steal. He's a lot more comfortable shooting the basketball, obviously, down there in the G League, but it's just getting that to translate up into the NBA, and I think it's something that you just have to give these players reps. I talked about that with Sanogo yesterday. I think that much like that, you have to give him reps, and as you give him these reps, you give him this trust, I think you start to see that confidence take off. And so, you know, with that being said, I just want to say, you know, just how good he has been and why the Chicago Bulls really are high on this young man. Being a stat stuffer, he was an all-defensive selection in the Pac-12 when he was in college. He's not a high-volume shooter, all right, and so that's why I said you don't want to necessarily just get him to only be shooting the basketball like that or just be a standstill three-point shooter. I think that there's more elements to his game offensively. But as far as being a stat stuffer, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in the Pac-12 conference championship game against UCLA when he was in college. He had 17 and 6 where they got eliminated in the Sweet 16. So this young man can score a decent amount. You saw that too in the G League as well. It's just a matter of giving him these opportunities. And so with that being said, as we jump out of here, I will leave it to you in the comments. What do you think? Do you think the Chicago Bulls did a very good thing by going ahead and picking up this option, taking a little bit more of an extensive look at Dalen Terry? Or are you just like, look, I think at this point the Chicago Bulls should go ahead and just, you know, trade him, get rid of him, put him in a trade package, and we get something else? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Just want to thank everybody for liking and sharing. It means a whole bunch to us as we try to reach 5,000 subscribers before the NBA season starts. Want to let you know that 65.8% of you that watch the videos are not subscribed, so make sure you go ahead and slam dunk on that subscribe button, just like Dalen Terry. But anyhow, even though we are very close to the training camp starting, and we are about to find out a lot of answers to these questions that we've been asking for months, and we don't know, I'm still saying go Bulls, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.